Hey guys, Beast here. We just got gas in lovely little Redmond, Oregon. If you folks want to see the audio quality of the Garmin hooked up to the 20 Sena S, I will tell you it is actually a little bit windy right now, but I do have the visor up, and at the moment we're obviously not going anywhere. So, although I don't think the audio is quite as good as maybe, you know, if you had a nice condenser mic that you're running right into a mic input of the GoPro. But as I've talked about before, I much prefer having a sealed unit and running wirelessly. This thing was just a breeze to set up. And as you can tell from the audio quality, it sounds just like the Sena on ultra high def settings. This will be pretty much anytime you see me vlogging inside of a helmet, it'll be the Garmin from this point forward. The other thing I didn't mention on that review is on the KLR, I've got a really nice Garmin GPS. I will be sort of buying a second mount, obviously not a second GPS, but I'll be buying a second mount so I can put on here so I can just transfer that GPS. I really enjoyed that GPS. The other thing Garmin does, if you haven't used a Garmin in a few years, is it's called their ANT sensor. So you can hook up remote sensors through Garmin. They've got tire sensors, they've got all sorts of stuff. And with their cameras, you can actually hook up and record and control the camera through the GPS. So if I don't want to have it on here, if I decide to put it somewhere remotely on the bike, I was thinking about getting one and maybe hardwiring it permanently in, so it always has power, and then I can just control that directly from the GPS, and that would be pretty nice. The other thing is I'll give you a quick little break here, and we'll cut to the air filter change out. Decided to put a new air filter in here. Let's cut to that.
Hey guys, Beast here, and today we're going to do a super quick video, maybe a little vlogging, but I want to get the air filter changed out on this guy. We'll take a look at it in a second. Using a new lens on the G7, and I also did you guys a favor and I turned around the small road micro so it faces backwards. So if I'm behind the camera, you actually get much better audio. If you saw my very first video, you could tell there was some kind of echoey room sounding. That's because I had the microphone facing forward and was talking behind it before I got in front of it. You can definitely tell a difference in the mic quality. So this is much better. I think I'm already looking at the levels. They're a little high, but I'm only about a foot away from the Rode mic right now. And so far I'm really enjoying it. But let's dive in. Let's get an air filter changed out, and then maybe let's go hit the road. So as I'm getting this air box put back together with the new filter, I can even tell the force that it takes to get this cover back on is just, I mean, it's not hard, but it was more than what it was. So I recommend doing the filter. I didn't think that this was that filthy. It looked a little dark. There's a couple little pine needles and some hair and stuff in here that I kind of tapped out. And then I just decided to go ahead and put a new filter in. And I'm glad I did. There's a quick comparison I'll put in here of the two of them. All right, there's the new one. There's the old one. Can't really see much through that one. New one. Old one. You can easily see the amount of dirt and stuff that this is just trapped dust over its mileage. I don't know when this was changed out because it's a new bike and it was a used bike. But the foam on the outside, I do believe, starts getting a memory. And like I was just saying, the door didn't take a lot to close on it previously with this foam here, and there was a little bit of dust inside the airbox, so I was a little concerned about that, but I thought about even putting a little bit of just silicone grease just on the edge here, just kind of seal it up. But I think just as much force as it took to get that door back on, I can tell that foam is much better and will create a little better seal anyway. So this is the old one. It's definitely on its way out, so I'd recommend changing these even if they don't look super dirty. I mean, most of you guys, if you're coming from dual sports, if you're watching my videos, you know, obviously your dirt bikes get a lot filthier and then you just wash them and clean them. But I don't know if you can see just inside there, but it's a lot dirtier than it first appeared anyway. Alright, so I'll put the part number down below. This is Yamaha, genuine part. I thought about doing an aftermarket, but I'm not completely sold on some of the K&N ones, and there's been some horror stories, even in the FJR forums, of guys running it, and some of the extra filter oil making their way in and clogging up some of the throttle bodies, so which you don't want to under-filter it, so it's kind of a fine line, and I've never been 100% satisfied, I think guaranteed, with the amount of filtration that a K&N does have out there, because there's a lot of compounding arguments over whether those cotton baffle type reusable washable filters are actually filtering down to the particle amount necessary for a good engine. This thing has more power than I'm ever going to need, so I don't really need to do horsepower tests on this, so we're just going with the stock genuine Yamaha part, which is 5JW14451-00, and I'll put the part number down below. See, the price I paid for it was $35. I'm not sure what it'll be online.
Alright, getting a little more cross breeze here. So you can tell I didn't really think the filter was that bad, but once I got the new one side by side, it definitely needed changing. Now, you can also see I've got a windscreen on here. No, this is not a stock anything. I decided to make another one. We'll cut it out real quick.
Alright, so taking after my last KLR project, this wasn't quite wide enough to reuse it, so we went and picked up a, you can see it there, 18 by 24. And I'll kind of give you an idea of what I'm looking at. Alright, so just taking this off, I was gluing on a T-nut onto the back here. I've used those in the KLR quite a bit. So I've got a T-nut on there, so the threads, and I can just punch in from the top then. At least it'll keep it, well, it's still not quite dry. But maybe it'll keep it in place until I can get everything in place. Alright guys, this is going to be kind of a quick little cheap edit. Just go watch my other video for the KLR build on the windscreen. I'm using the exact same brackets here, and I'm coming around and tying them just in there, right on that bolt. And then 18 to 24, I'm going to put a bolt and a spacer right here in the middle, and then those are just going to be a flat shield, and then we'll get the heat gun and kind of see where we need to strengthen this guy.
See, that was pretty quick. So you can tell I'm using the exact same brackets. I just reused them off the KLR. I bent them in a different direction, drilled a different hole in them, and screwed it on, and it seems to be working great. I'm getting pretty good wind off my chest. I'm getting more wind directed up to the helmet, so that'll be even better test to see how the microphone and the wind noise handles. As I said, it's sun setting now, so we're getting a little bit of breeze here in the evening. It was quite a warm one here in Central Oregon. And we're going to head out on the highway, and so we'll get to see what the quality is, and I'll just bring you with me while we carry up our speed a little bit higher here into the sunset. So obviously it's definitely a good test of its low light capabilities, as well as a few other things, but I'm 100% happy with it. Like I said, the only thing I'm looking forward to is getting some spare batteries, because at the moment I have to recharge it. Nobody seems to actually carry the batteries for this at the moment. I'm going to drop the shield here, and just realizing how many bugs are on my windshield, because it's go time. Oh yeah. The FJR is definitely loving the newer air filter. Now as you can see or hear, I'm hoping you'll hear a little bit more wind noise as it's hitting my helmet at higher speeds. And as soon as we pass the substation out here, heading towards Sisters. Alright, all the way down from 3,000 RPM in the wrong gear all the way up to the highway speed. The FJR does not disappoint with power, that is for sure. We are doing just under 70 miles an hour now. I'll probably keep it under 70, just for local laws and regulations, like this guy pulling out here. I can definitely tell, I don't have my ear plugs in, that there's definitely a little bit more wind noise. If I cut down here, you can see just in the slightly tucked position, I've got zero wind noise. So it's definitely keeping a lot of the wind off my chest, which is great. Hopefully this gives you an idea of what the audio sounds like through the Sena 20S into the Garmin at highway speeds. I'm quite certain it will sound good when I get back to the studio. You guys tell me. I'm going to stop blabbing. We'll stop the video there, and I'm going to go enjoy the sunset on my way home. This is the Beast signing off, guys. Enjoy your day. Get out and ride. Winter's coming.